Tonight, quote, the Amish delivered. Those are the words of a man few people know, but a man who was key to Donald Trump's win in Pennsylvania. The controversial conservative activist Scott Presler, who's involved in the group Gays for Trump, a vocal election denier, goes by the Twitter handle The Persistence. He helped deliver that all-important must-win state for Trump, in large part by focusing on, as he says, the Amish, frat guys, and hunters, among other groups. And Presler, as our Ellie Reeve reports, is just getting started.
Everybody just big smile and look cute. Okay. Cheese. Cheese.
Scott Presler is the kind of political figure only possible in the Trump era, going from social media influencer to actual proximity to power. Scott! Presler is taking credit for turning Pennsylvania red. He created a PAC, Early Vote Action, to register voters and targeted the Amish, frat guys, hunters, and other groups. His PAC got a $1 million donation from Elon Musk.
So walk us through how you do it.
When I tell the Amish that they can vote a private, secret ballot that is mailed to their house and they don't have to have their buggy seen going to a polling location, they love the mail-in ballot.
But a lot of people sort of come up as social media influencers and then they fizzle out. And you actually, took the opportunity and started doing something quantifiable.
He was at the Capitol on January 6th and at Trump's return to the scene of his near assassination in Butler.
President Trump took a bullet for us.
Last week, Presler was in Bucks County, Pennsylvania, because of a controversy over what ballots would be counted in the Senate recount. A frustrated county commissioner had said some misdated and unsigned ballots would be counted despite the rules.
If I violate this law, it's because I want a court to pay attention to it.
This went very viral, in part because of Presler. She apologized at the next meeting.
The passion in my heart got the best of me, and I apologize again for that. I made a mistake.
But by then, the Pennsylvania Supreme Court had ruled those ballots wouldn't be counted. Presler and his fans had won. Yet they turned out anyway, and the room had a kind of intense vibe.
Do you think the 2020 election was stolen?
It definitely was stolen.
Okay, so can you explain something to me? Why, if they can steal an election, why would they steal it once but not this year?
Because people were on to them. The divisions in the Democrats made it very hard for them to try and steal it again.
Thank you to every single patriot that showed up today. We did it!
I think what you heard today is the frustration of people that have been told they are election deniers, and here we have a sitting commissioner that's an election denier, and we have a currently sitting Senator, Bob Casey, that is also an election denier, and it's almost karmic. And yes, that's why in part we were here to take a victory lap. We won, and we did it fair and square.
If we take that commissioner's words in the worst possible light, let's say she truly meant rules don't apply and she could count ballots that shouldn't be counted. She still failed to steal the election, right? Like, you guys still won Pennsylvania and Bucks County. So help me reconcile that with your past, with the Stop the Steal movement in 2020. Like, why could it have been stolen once but not a second time?
Injustice anywhere is a threat to justice everywhere. If we let them get away with doing this now, they'll do it in 2026, they'll do it in 2028. This was us peacefully putting our feet down and saying, no, enough is enough, and we're not going to allow you to do illegal and unlawful actions. And we're gonna hold you accountable.
Cheese.
Ready? 1, 2, 3.
Cheese. Trump.
I noticed that when you urge people to action,
Yes.
you often include the word
Peacefully.
Is that to avoid another Jan 6 type incident?
With all due respect, it's to avoid people like you guys saying that I'm anything but. My motto is to just be super cute, have my data and facts, treat everyone with love and respect, and as you can see, an army of people will follow.
And it was a small army, which included followers of a Korean church led by rapper King Bullethead. So when you were up there speaking, it almost seemed like you were taking a bit of a victory lap for turning Pennsylvania and this county red.
Absolutely.
A lot of people questioned our voter registration. They said, Scott, flipping Bucks County to a plurality of registered Republicans, that's not going to translate into results. And yes, a little bit of the victory lap was here to say that for the first time since 1988, we flipped this county and it voted for President Trump. It's kind of, saying to people, no, we're the real deal.
Pressler first got attention in 2017 when he worked for an anti-Muslim group and organized marches against Sharia, despite there being no Sharia law in America. He was also involved with Gays for Trump.
You described yourself as a data guy.
Yes.
But early in your career, you were more of kind of like a social issues, culture war guy, like Gays for Trump or Act for America. Can you tell me about that shift in your career?
I have grown in how I approach politics. I see my work and my evolution in politics as I laid a foundation, and now I am meticulously building on that an esoteric understanding of how politics is going to win elections, focusing on demographic groups, get them registered, get them mobilized, get them out to vote.
Twice, RNC officials have indicated they would hire him, but it hasn't worked out. Still, he's built a loyal fan base.
Have you spoken to President Trump since the election?
I've spoken to Laura Trump.
What'd she say?
Our conversations out of respect to her and the Trump family are private, but she was congratulatory.
And what about Elon Musk?
I think he's a wonderful human being.
Have you talked to him since the election?
We've messaged, nothing consequential.
God save America, hallelujah.
It's just so fascinating. And watching him over these past months, when I first saw him was really on Twitter, right? It was that social media presence. Right there in that conversation with you, he admitted he hasn't spoken to Trump since he won. And obviously what he did for Trump was hugely significant. Why are Republicans keeping him at some sort of arm's length, it seems?
Pressler does have his conservative critics. Last year, during the race for the RNC chair, he posted the email addresses of committee members urging them to vote for his candidate. In that controversy, Politico reported that years earlier, in 2016, he'd had a sexual encounter in a Republican office in Virginia and posted photos of it on Craigslist. And then, of course, he is an election denier, but the era of those folks being pushed to the fringe of the party seems to have passed.
Yeah, that certainly would not, that would not cause the arm's length, but it is, just to watching the whole thing, really fascinating. All right, thank you so much, Ellie, having that conversation with Scott Pressler. And